Hi, welcome to Shrink Wrapped. I'm DavidColarossiPhd here with Dr. David Colarossi, and we are here to entertain you.
There's a lot of pressure on us to be entertaining.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You did a great job. David cooked me a really fabulous dinner tonight. We had steak and eggplant and mushrooms.
And jalapenos.
And jalapenos. It was delicious.
And Allison got me Halo ice cream. Is it Halo ice cream?
David has turned a leaf, so I got him the gift of not sabotaging him. So I got him some Halo ice cream.
But I think if I eat the entire pint of...
You didn't, did you?
No, but I put a dent in it.
Can I, just as a check-in, by Tibble. That's our dog. You guys probably haven't seen him. He's an old man. Are you making yourself comfortable? Just a little check-in on my New Year's resolution. Ask me, am I helping future Allison?
Have you been helping future Allison?
I did. I have been traveling a lot for work, but I got the Valentines together weeks ahead of time.
Yes, you did.
And so no stress at all for Valentine's Day parties.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
I have not booked a dentist appointment.
David.
But other than that, I think I'm doing pretty well. I've turned a leaf on the diet, and my diet's been better. Right?
Your teeth are literally going to fall out of your face. You're going to be.
What do you want to talk about on this podcast?
Well, we have some sad news that actually I woke up to and I'm super devastated about. So, Dave Hollis, who I thought was an excellent speaker and a good addition to Rachel Hollis's life, although he ghosted me, so I haven't been able to follow him for the last few years. But
well, why did he ghost you though?
I told him he sucked. It wasn't my finest moment. Anyway, what do you think about that? Are you so sad?
I'm really sad. I'm not sure how to react to it. I think it's devastating news. I also feel like it is, I thought he was it's funny. I feel terrible about it. And if I reflect on my, Dave Hollis and Rachel Hollis are the reason why we do any of this YouTube stuff. Do you remember? You were upset. They were peddling. You went to one of Rachel Hollis's conferences.
I went to multiple
conferences. They weren't cheap. They were peddling like that they had the world's best couples. Like heading into the quarantine, they were doing dates on the driveway and then doing podcasts about how great they are at it. And there was like this big sort of like facade that they were putting forward about what their relationship looked like. And then the news broke, we're getting divorced. And you were upset about it. I did a YouTube video, and that's like how this whole thing got started.
I forgot about that. That is true.
And the YouTube video, and I've done several YouTube videos on Rachel and Dave Hollis about their books, and I've never said anything positive about anything that they've done. I mean, that's not true. I feel like the lion's share of it has been very critical.
I'm a super fan. And you're a super hater.
I'm not a super hater.
And he ghosted me.
Because you told him he sucked. But I feel like what's going to happen, I feel like what's happening is there's like a tension with him. There's like a duality to Dave Hollis and Rachel Hollis in that they, I think, were well-intentioned people and had a net positive impact on the world and their followers. And they were misleading, and they were in many ways broken people, and then trying to sell a brand that didn't really represent who they were.
Yeah.
I mean, the last year, him going on he went on and did that live stream for like 2 hours where he seemed totally unhinged. People thought he was on Adderall or on cocaine or bipolar or manic. I feel like this is a guy, like the story of Dave Hollis is a much more nuanced one than just saying
he's complex.
Yeah. I think he's complex, and I and it's like I want to talk about him in a complex way, and I want to be respectful that the guy passed away and he's left 4 kids, and
So
it's
devastating. I really hate that I made a beautiful tea for
I thought
myself.
we would share that.
You always think that, but I don't like to share my tea with you.
It's really good. Is that just pure tea, or what'd you put in there?
A little Splenda in there.
Oh, I just don't like Splenda. That's good. So let's finish the Dave Hollis discussion. I think it's devastating. I feel horrible for his kids. I think that we don't know what the cause of death is, and I am feeling kind of guilty. There's nothing that I said about him that I think was unfair or unreasonable. I thought that I was balanced in how I appraised him, but he got a lot of hate online, and I know that broke him. I mean, he took if you remember, like March of last year, he took a social media break because he couldn't take it. He went into rehab, I think, in January of last year, or January or April, I can't remember, whatever. He had like some turmoil. And so I'm like feeling bad. I don't know if what happened to him. They're saying he went to the hospital for heart issues earlier in the week, which is an odd answer to what happened. It's not answering what actually happened. They're referring to an event earlier in the week when they certainly know what happened, right? They must have some idea, but they're not. So it just makes me, I don't know, I feel sad about the whole thing.
I feel so sad about it too. Sorry, guys. It is sad.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, I've been kind of in a funk about it today. Because I do feel like he went, like the last 2 years since he divorced Rachel, it's been like a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very public.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So what do you think if it wasn't a heart issue?
Well, I think it was a heartbroken issue. So regardless of what happened, like I feel like his heart's been broken. So, you know how people die of a broken heart, like might manifest itself in weird ways. But I feel like either if it was a heart attack or something, it's probably because his heart was broken. I don't know if that seems silly, but or if he relapsed and went back on coke or whatever. I feel like it was because his heart was broken. So I feel like globally it was a heartbroken issue.
That's an interesting way to look at it. If it was, and I don't know, I mean, I said coke, but I don't know that's been like a public. I don't want to put that out there.
I actually don't even know.
But it was.
What was he rehab for?
Alcohol. But if it was drugs or suicide, do you think that the family has an obligation to share that? Like, does the public need to know?
No, I don't know why the Queen died, how she died. We don't know how.
The Queen was like 180 years old.
But it doesn't matter. You still die of a reason. That didn't get put out there. I want to know what happened.
Jeez. I can't tell you how little I care about how a woman that's like, what was she? It's like 98. How old was she really?
I think she was 94.
Like, are you really racking your brain about I wonder what happened? Okay, all right. Well, but what do you think? Is there an obligation? Should the family make that public? Or do they get to keep that?
Well, I don't think you have a choice. I feel like it's on the death certificate, which is public information. So when that comes out, like everyone will know, right? Or is that not?
I don't know. Maybe that's true. I'm asking the question because I have an opinion about it. And the opinion is that I don't think it, because I keep hoping that you're going to ask me what I think, but you're not. So I'll just tell you what I think. I think that the family owes us nothing as far as sharing what happened if they don't want to share what happened. Outside of Dave Hollis, I think it is such a shame that when people die of drugs and alcohol, that we don't immediately and transparently talk about what happened. Like the example I have in my mind is Tony Hsieh, who was the founder of Zappos, or not if he was the founder, but he was the CEO of Zappos for a long time, died due to drugs. And it took like 6 weeks before they came out and said it was because of drugs. And what happens is there's this event, there's this attention, everybody's focused on it. And that's the time when I think society can learn about, like, there's a date. We have to be really clear for people about the dangers of doing drugs and alcohol, how suicide happens, depression, like these mental health issues need to be discussed transparently. And I feel like what happens is when the worst thing happens, we don't talk about it. And so I feel like the narrative gets created that, no one really dies of this thing when they do very frequently,
I know, but we have a crazy fear of peanut allergy that no one dies of, really. And so I feel like that is very interesting.
That's a
I know,
serious shift.
No, I'm just saying that I was agreeing with you, and sorry that I'm like a ping pong ball, but I was thinking, like, while you were talking, I was thinking, like, it's true, it is such a shame. And instead of having a fear of something that actually we should be fearful of, we're more afraid of things that can't kill us. Like peanut allergy.
Peanuts can kill you.
No, less than 6 people die a year of peanut allergy. Did you know that?
Jeez. No, I did not know that. Is that right?
It's a very, like, low morbidity, but we have an anxiety around, like, peanut allergy way more than something like drugs, which is interesting to me.
That is interesting. Just 6 people. That's true?
It's very low, yeah. But you wouldn't think that, right? Because of the anxiety around it. And
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to yell at me for drinking your tea. Go ahead.
But so, I mean...
Whatever. Anyway, I am sad about Dave, and I think, like, I don't know what... I want to think that he was in a good place, and that he wasn't using, and that it wasn't suicide. And then from, like, an existential angst standpoint, it's terrifying to think that a guy that was so healthy could just drop dead of a heart attack at 47. That's terrifying also. Nothing about this makes anybody feel comfortable,
It's really sad.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Dave Hollis. Mm-hmm. On a happier note.
Nice transition. Go ahead.
I do follow Kody Brown, and she has a new main squeeze. What do you think?
That's exciting. For Kody Brown, who's the main squeeze?
He's a guy that's bald with a beard. I don't think I caught his name, but she seems really excited and happy about him.
I would be...
But it's interesting that he's bald because she loved Kody's hair so much.
Kody was hanging on to his hair. Like, there's a couple of, the people on Reddit are, like, vicious about Kody. And so there's all these pictures on Reddit of Kody, like, leaning over to pick something up, and then they've got, like, a zoomed in of his head. He has my same hairline, but he's just, like, grown the hair out.
He's ramen noodle head.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good for Christine. Man, I'm not sure. There's so much energy around her that guy must really like her to want to engage in that relationship. Like that. That is a spotlight that I would not want if I were the guy dating her.
Yeah.
You're entering this TLC
nightmare. Plus, all her life has been on national TV for the last 15 or 16 years.
Yeah.
At least he knows what he's getting into based on the TV show.
Do you think he's watched the TV show?
I don't know.
Meghan Markle didn't really know that Prince Harry didn't know all about it.
She didn't know who he was.
Well, that's the narrative anyway. So it's possible if we believe Meghan.
Well, I mean, I'm with Meghan on that because I knew Prince Harry existed, but I was more interested in Prince William. So
I thought we talked about this, that Prince William was not that you thought Prince Harry was the hot one.
Now I do, but in my youth, it was Prince William. No one knew who Prince Harry was, and Meghan Markle's older than me. So I think she probably knew who Prince William was.
The plot thickens. So somebody sent me a DM on Instagram about that, I guess, and I looked it up. Like, there's people are talking about, oh my gosh, Robin and Kody are searching for new wives.
No.
And then I read somewhere else, like I was like got interested in like what I read somewhere else that they were actually like season 18. So there will be a season 18 of Sister Wives. And part of that is them looking for a new wife.
No.
And the one that they were looking, like the woman that they were pursuing, rejected them.
Avi.
At least the one that Avi.
Who?
Avi.
Okay, who would want to be with Robin and Kody? I feel like the real people that, if I would have wanted to be with Janelle and Christine, and they're gone. Like, Robin and Kody are wah wah. They're like so angry, but maybe that's why Kody looks so fit. Like, remember his pants were so tight you could see his calf muscles.
Yeah. Oh, he's fit because he's dating. He's looking around.
Because he's like trying to woo.
Does that make sense? I think.
I bet he goes to the dentist.
Well, that's good news for you. That's how you know that I'm faithful. So if I start going to the dentist regularly, you know there's trouble. Trouble's coming. That's my tell. So.
That's really interesting. What do you think about that? I feel like. Why don't you ask what I think about it?
Oh. Al, what do you think about that?
Well, I just feel like he did very well with his current wife. So what makes him think he's going to do well with the next one? Like, just because he learned his lessons?
I think I have a couple of thoughts. I think he... Go ahead, what were you going to say?
No, sorry. I was just like... I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was finishing my thought. Like, is it because he's learned lessons or because he knows now that he wants subservient people?
That's right. That was my thought. Is that I think he probably has gone... He's probably looked at it and gone, okay... I got burned by these independent women. I need a subservient, right? Remember when he was marrying that couple and the woman said something like, "I want to take his name," and Kody was like, "This marriage is going to work because she's deferential enough." Remember, like that was his like marker of what was success, what led to success in a relationship. Mm. I think he's horny, and I think that I
hate that word, David. Why did you have to say that?
What's a better? I think he's sexually interested. What is a better way to say that? I think he's virile. I think he's interested and likes the idea of getting a new... I think, you know what I mean? I think the perk of this being in a polygamous relationship is that there's some variety, and I think he's going, okay, I lost these 3. Time to shake up the deck. And so I think even though it's like objectively maybe a bad idea, and objectively maybe he's not ready, less than 1 year out from getting divorced from the other 2 wives, I think he's probably going like, I'm trying to avoid using the term that Kody used, but Cody's term would be, never mind. I think he's going out to pursue women. I think that's alluring to him.
David, I think you say that because that's what you want.
No, I'm just saying that this is of a list of reasons. So I think the first thing is that he's...
Do you want a sister wife?
No. Oh my God, I do not want a sister wife.
Like one time you did?
If I could get a sister, I feel like I know exactly what that would look like. I think you'd be fine. You would be fine, but you'd have every fight would be you'd be like, hey Sally Joe, I'm right, aren't I? And it would be a constant, and I couldn't do it. I have a hard enough time managing there's a lot of demands on my time and attention. 1 is more than enough. Would you like to have brother wives?
More husbands?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
I feel like you guys are too much work.
I was so nice to say. I was like trying to think of a way to not say that you were work. I was saying like, oh, there's this demands on my time, and you're like, oh no, it's laborious.
I'll just take one example, just one. This is like a totally.
Okay, but I'm gonna give an example if you give an example.
You and my two. I have all boys. My dog is also a boy in my house. There's no one that gets the pee in the toilet, including you. I can't take another one of those. Okay, now your turn.
Why is it that when you go pee, you get to just leave it down? Let's just make a deal. If you want me to lift it up every time, then you put it down every time. Or, you lift it up. No, if you want me to put it down every time, then you should have to lift it up every time. That would be fair.
I am okay with you lifting it up. It's the actual act of getting it in the... just in the toilet. So
I'm in a hurry.
Everyone's in a hurry in our house. I don't know. There gets pee everywhere.
It's the kids. I get it. Right.
David?
It's the kids.
Stupid or liar?
Okay, we're having a hard time getting a thought out here.
Okay.
What was I even saying?
You asked me if I wanted brother husbands, and no.
Because no one would hit the toilet.
I mean, that's just one of many reasons.
And I wouldn't want a sister wife because I couldn't ever duplicate somebody as perfect as you.
That's true. You could not.
Okay, back to it. I think that the reason why Kody would so quickly be pursuing another wife is, one, I think he's like, ooh, I could have sex with somebody else. And that's the first thing. And I think he's probably not thinking super clearly because he's so excited about that. I also think that he's ego-driven enough that he feels like he needs the attention, like the emotional attention. I think he liked being the head of the household, and I think he's like desperate to have that position of power again. And I think the last thing is, I don't think that he ever, at least in the last season that I watched, he never took accountability. So in his mind, the fact that those 3 women left him is not a consequence of his inability to be in a relationship, not a consequence of polygamy not working. It's a consequence of those 3 women being flawed. So I bet you he's just going to pursue women that are different than them, that are subservient, that are deferential. Yeah. Right? I think that's probably his solution to it,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be continued on that, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Have you done your podcast on groupthink yet?
No.
I'm anxious to hear it.
A video on groupthink?
Yeah.
I haven't. I've been doing a lot of MILF Manor, which everybody wants you to react to, and the reason why she doesn't react to is because she won't watch it.
It grosses me out. I'll react to you. I'll react to your reactions, but I cannot watch it.
You should do that. You should post a video of you watching. Yeah.
I'm really grossed out by it. Like, the whole concept of having my kids, it just seems so unhealthy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. What about 90 Day Fiancé? I started reviewing that. Do you like that show?
I haven't watched it.
I think you might like that. It's less... It at least has good intentions. Like, MILF Manor has bad intentions. But 90 Day Fiancé has, I think, good intentions.
Okay. I'll watch it.
Do you want some more tea?
You really downed it all.
I love you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you guys had a great Valentine's.